Hello people, my name is Henry Ferwijaya and I come from University of Atmajaya, Yogyakarta. Today we're gonna talk about animation cartoon. Enjoy! Cartoon is everywhere. Do you know this cartoon? Of course, you know it. They are memorable, right? In the 20th century, cartoon is a new innovation to entertain children. The unrealistic movement and synchronized audio was their power to make their debut in 20th century. But who made all of this? Merriam-Webster Dictionary said that definition of animation cartoon itself is a motion picture that made from a series of drawings, computer graphics, or photographs on inanimate objects such as puppet, and that simulates movement by slight progressive changes in its frame. When they made the animation in 1928, they used many methods such as cell animation production, where each frame of movement was drawn on celluloid and photographed with multipan camera, and rotoscoping, where the animator was painted over existing footage. There is a lot of animation production companies around the world, and one of them is United States of America Animation Production. The golden era of United States of America animation cartoon production itself is with a first animation made by Walt Disney named Mickey Mouse. This animation has a unique things inside because it didn't have any dialogue and the movement sounded by synchronized instrument. Not only that, the comical movement also became the unique thing on the animation cartoon in 1928. As time goes by, a lot of animations spread out around the world besides Mickey Mouse, such as Fred Flintstone, Tom and Jerry, Aladdin, the biker mice from the Mars, and the Nopal. The fun fact is 90% of US animation cartoon production was made by Asian countries like India, China, Taiwan, South Korea, North Korea, and Singapore. And unexpectedly, the one of the countries that give so much sketches is our neighborhood. Yes, Philippines. How did all this happen? This can happen because the countries with population of 104.9 billion has three powers that can be considered by the United States of America to work with them. First thing first, the talks between United States of America with Philippines itself has similarity. But why does the country that embrace Eastern culture has a similar culture with United States of America? With the history of Philippines itself, where the Philippines has been colonized by United States of America.
Manila has the finest bay in the Far East.
When the United States of America colonized the Philippines in past, America required English as a main language for their colonization region. So, because of that, America shared their culture to Philippines indirectly. Because of that, United States of America have advantage. They didn't have to give subtitle to their animation cartoon. Second, Filipino animator can reduce production cost of making animation cartoon compared by other countries. The fact is, a 30 minutes cartoon costs about $130,000 to produce in Philippines, and it's more cheaper than a production of United States of America, who can produce around $500,000. Philippine studios are cheaper than most Asian competitors. In Korea, they will charge $200,000, but in Philippines, they can maximum the cost at $165,000. Wow! Not only that, the human resources of Filipino animators is so high, and they have a big salary that can be comparable with their works. Of course, with many Filipino animators, the production animation will be easier. On the process of animation cartoon production itself, major studios such as Disney, Marvel, Warner Bros, and Hanna-Barbera send storyboards, rough sketches outlining the action of cartoon and voice track to the Philippines. Filipino artists and technicians draw, paint and film about 20,000 sketches by hand for every 30 minutes episode. And then after the work is done, they will give the animation to the United States of America Animation Production, where the sound and the music were added. But all with the hard work, Filipino animators also got high salary, around $1,200 per month. That's awesome. And the main question is, can Indonesia as a neighborhood country catch up to Philippines?
Animasi.
Untuk animatornya sudah.
Belum terlalu.
Ya,
Menurut aku sih belum ya.
sejujurnya masih kurang.
Istilahnya sarana prasarananya belum.
In fact, the community and the government itself is still lacking to understand how animation production can give a benefit for us. Not only that, limited costs become a new problem for Indonesian animation production. Because of this, many of Indonesian professional animators go abroad, like Rini Sugianto at Adventure of Tintin, The Secret of the Unicorn, Christian Lee at Transformer 4, Age of Extension, Andre Surya at Iron Man 2, and Cikita Fauzi at Upin Ipin. In Malaysia, there is a budget and subsidy policy for their local animation production. Even in Singapore, there is a ministry that handle the development of their animation production. Crazy, right? So it's fair that they can produce the animation production fastly with the supported human resources. But go back to the main question. Can Indonesia catch up? Answer is yes, we can. There's a lot of Indonesian animation that have been released on television and box office around Indonesia. But what we can do? We can just support them as a youth, the community. Only watch and give a critic, suggestion, can make them step more further. Also, keep telling the government that animation cartoon production of Indonesia is so passionate. It's more like Pygmalion effect. When you give a praise, their skill will be motivated and they will be passionate to make animation. For the further information of Pygmalion effect, you can see on the description below. Check it out, it's a good video. So what are you waiting for? Let's support animation cartoon production. Oh yes, you can see the creation of Indonesian animators on the description below. Check it out. That's all from me. I hope you support Indonesian animation. Thank you.